How did they manage to ascend its slopes, which rise to a height of 480 feet at an angle of little about 52 degrees? For the ancient Egyptians, it was difficult, and it is still a mystery to modern archaeologists, to move 2.5-ton blocks to such an astounding height without the crane or the block and tackle. Nearly all Egyptologists believe that some kind of ramp was used to raise the stone blocks, but the specific type of ramp is still unknown. Egyptologist Mark Lehner has spent 30 years studying the pyramids firsthand. My approach to the question was, where are the quarries? What kind of a ramp can you get from the quarry to the pyramid in a functional slope? Lehner: mystery. It's still unclear how they got to the pyramid. Did they approach it straight on, zigzag up one side, or spiral around it? I've made some suggestions and tried to base them on the landscape, but much of it is still speculation because the ramps were demolished after the pyramid was finished, leaving only fragments of evidence for archaeologists to work with. However, ramps and sheer muscle power were what allowed millions of blocks to reach the summit once in place, with a lot of limestone put into the gypsum mortar between the stones. At the Great Pyramid, every stone that would be visible after construction was complete was put with extraordinary accuracy. The blocks of the burial chamber fit together exactly, and their sides had to be nearly flat to create these stunning connections. We'll utilize this rod spring instrument to determine whether the surface is indeed flat and how this precise engineering was accomplished with the most basic of equipment, employing a third rod that is identical in length to the other two rods and is connected by. The ancient mason would use the rods and string to spot imperfections and then mark them with red ochre to show where more work was needed using two additional tools, this one being a flint scrabble. The ancient mason would use the rods and string to spot imperfections and then mark them with red ochre to show where more work was needed using the two additional tools. The same technique was also used in the final stage of construction, where the rough internal blocks were covered with an outer casing of perfectly smooth stone. This was carved from the highest grade limestone and had to be transported across the Nile to the pyramid site with this polished casing. The pyramid would have been finished by the time it was finished. The Great Pyramid of Giza was covered in thousands of these facing stones when it was finished. But they are no longer there because they were used to construct Cairo's mosques and castles. However, facing stones are still visible on the cap of Khafre's pyramid, proving that even with all of the Egyptians' knowledge and resources, building the pyramids was still a very difficult task. The individuals who actually constructed the pyramids are now being identified thanks to forensic archaeological finds, proving that the stories are false. Tell us in the comments about pyramid secrets you've ever experienced. Area below. Don't forget to click the subscribe button, press the like button, and share this video with your friends.